You know what I've been thinking about lately? How every generation thinks it's too advanced for idols. Like that was ancient people, stone statues, golden calves, we're past all that, but idols don't disappear, they just change their form. And the more I think about it, the more I believe psychedelic entities might actually be the ancient idols of today. Not statues, not something you bow down to physically, but something that plays that exact same role. And this isn't just a theory for me. I've done a lot of mushrooms. I've done a lot of acid. I've done MDMA, ketamine. I want to be clear, I'm not talking about this from a place of curiosity alone. I'm talking about this from experience. There was a period in my life where I felt completely lost. No direction, no structure, no submission to anything higher than how I felt in that moment. And during that time, these substances didn't feel recreational. It felt like it was guiding. What I experienced didn't show up as a monster or something scary. It was seductive. It felt affirming, comforting, reassuring, almost like a voice, not an audible one, but a presence that said, "You're fine. Everything you're doing is a part of this path. There's nothing you need to change. Authority is the problem. Submission is the illusion." And that's the part that really matters because what it led me toward wasn't peace. It led me toward more drugs, alcohol, more lust, more self indulgence, all framed as growth, all framed as awakening and enlightening. At the time, I wouldn't have called it anything spiritual, but looking back now, the best way I can describe it is what the Bible would call a Jezebel type spirit. Not in the cartoonish sense, but in the patterns. Seduction without commitment, affirmation without correction, freedom without responsibility. It never said submit to God, it said trust yourself. It never said repent, it said everything you desire is valid. And that distinction is huge. That's where the ancient idol comparison really clicked for me because ancient idols didn't usually threaten people, they affirmed them. They said, "You're fine as you are, just bring an offering, keep the ritual going." And that's exactly how these psychedelic entities feel. They don't ask for worship, they ask for continued access. They don't demand sacrifice, they encourage indulgence. They don't say, "I am God," they say, "You're already divine." Same message, different delivery. And think about how they look. They don't appear as gods with crowns anymore. They appear as machines, insectolins, systems, little grays, intelligence, code, geometry, because that's what we believe is powerful now. Ancient people carved idols out of gold, the most advanced material they had at that time. We encounter entities that look like advanced technology, machine elves, dude. Same impulse, just updated. What really stands out to me now is these entities never pushed me toward humility. They never pushed me toward discipline or surrender. They pushed me towards self-authority and self-glory, and that sounds empowering until you realize where it leads. Because without submission to something higher than yourself, you don't become free. You're led. And I'm not saying everyone who's taken psychedelics is deceived. I'm not saying every experience is spiritual. What I'm saying is this: just because something feels ancient, intelligent, and loving doesn't mean it's truthful. Ancient idols felt real too. People had real experiences with them, but the fruit was always the same: corruption, confusion, and self-justification. The biggest red flag for me now: these experiences told me I was already whole, while I was actively destroying myself. That's not wisdom, that's seduction, Jezebel. God in the biblical sense doesn't seduce. He confronts, he corrects, and he calls you higher. Not through altered states, not through substances, but through truth, responsibility, and relationship. Idols, ancient or modern, always offer transcendence without transformation. And psychedelic entities feel like the perfect idol for a generation that wants spirituality without authority and submission. Anyway, that's something I've been reflecting on. I'm not here to tell anybody what to do or believe. I just think it's worth asking. If something always affirms you, never challenges you, and leads you deeper into indulgence, is it actually guiding you? All right, peace.